First of all, if you don't know, I am Luther Ragsdale, broker and CEO of Platinum Real Estate. Best way to contact me is via email, Luther@Platinum Real Estate, personal website, LutherRagsdale.com, corporate website, PlatinumRealEstate.com. And as always, we do have some great career opportunities for you. If you are a real estate agent and if you are not a part of the Platinum family, we have some great opportunities for you. We have a great one-on-one coaching program. This program is for new agents, experienced agents. It's for all agents. If you're an agent and you're saying, Luther, I want to take my career to the next level. I want to make more money. I want more opportunities. I need to go to the next level in my career, and I need a plan on how to do that. This coaching plan is for you. I will personally coach you one-on-one, personally myself. That's the coaching plan. We also have the 100% program. That's for agents who are saying, Luther, I have my plan together. I'm making money. I am successful. I don't need coaching, but I would like to be on the 100% plan. This plan is for you. We have free weekly training, and you can contact our executive recruiter at 404-994-4600, 404-994-4600, or you can email us, careers@platinumrealestate.com. That's careers@platinumrealestate.com. Now, I have the star of the show on the line, who is our preferred vendor, Miss Tamara Burch. And let me kind of explain to everybody why I asked her to do this webinar. There have been a lot of what I would say is a lot of misinformation. I was on Facebook not too long ago, and I seen a post where they were saying, hey, you know what? You have to have a 700 credit score to buy real estate now with this pandemic. You have to have 20% down with this pandemic. And as I was telling Tamara, I was basically hearing, hey, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. So at Platinum Real Estate, we have preferred vendors who, as a real estate agent, you don't have to go out and look for mortgage companies and closing attorneys and these type of things. We have preferred vendors who have been working with us 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they're excellent because they support our corporation, so we don't have to just start trying to Google somebody and hope we get somebody who possibly maybe might know what they're doing, right? We know we can get a great professional who is the best in the business that can help us support our business. So I called Tamara and I said, Tamara, look, listen, I need some help here. There's a pandemic, no doubt, and yes, there's Corona out there, no doubt, but, the sky isn't falling. I need some truths. What can we still do in the business? What can our buyers do? What can the sellers do? As real estate agents, we need to know what programs are out there so we know how to market, we know how to advertise, we know what to say and not to say before we give our client to Miss Tamara Burch. So that's what today is all about. We're going to talk about a lot of different programs. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Listen, chat line is open. Q&A is open. Look, this is an open forum. Please feel free to give us questions, and Miss Burch have all the answers. Now, before we go any further, let me give you some information. First of all, let me give you her website, tamaraburch.com. T-A-M-A-R-A, Tamara, T-A-M-A-R-A, last name Burch, B-U-R-C-H. Tamara Burch. All you have to do to find out more information about Tamara, to contact Tamara, go to her website, tamaraburch.com. Cell phone number, 770-896-5001. 770-896-5001. You can ask questions now, obviously, but after this presentation, feel free to contact Tamara with all of your financial questions and your financial transactions. She is the go-to money person that can definitely help us. And this entire presentation will get posted on our agent portal. At Platinum Real Estate, we have an agent portal for all of our agents. You can log in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get quality training just like this one. And you will be able to get this entire training in its entirety right after this training, and everything is being recorded. I see we have more people that have registered. Once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have everybody on the line. We have people chiming in as I speak. Great to have you. Great to have everybody here. Without any further ado, let's jump right in here. Ms. Burch.
Hey, how you doing? I hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's doing safe and their family is safe right now, especially during these times.
Everything's good. Everything is wonderful. We're out here making this thing happen. Tamara, the floor is yours. Help us with what can we do right now? How can we do it? What's hot and what's not in the mortgage industry?
So what we're going to talk about are programs. Then we're going to talk about some misinformation and overlays that are out there. And if we get time, then we're going to move on to operations and questions. So at any time during this information, you can post a question. We'll get that answered for you. And of course, in the top right, you've got my cell number. Feel free to text me or call me anytime, and I'll make sure that we get that answered. So Luther, if you could scroll that up, we're actually going to go straight to the next screen and start to get in this because I know we only have so much time. So let's start with programs. I want to touch on FHA first. So I'm getting a lot of calls. Hey, Tamara, I understand you can't even do FHA anymore. So that's a misinformation. You can do FHA. In fact, I have listing agents calling me and saying, before I take this contract, I understand you can't do FHA anymore. So I then will talk to the listing agent on behalf of the buyer and the selling agent and explain to them that, yes, we can still do FHA. Now, we may have seen some changes to FHA, but overall, it is still a fantastic program, and it still has great rates and great time frames for your borrowers. Your first-time borrower, maybe somebody who's had a bankruptcy in the last couple of years, or somebody's had a foreclosure in the last 4 years. We're still going to want to look at the FHA product, and we want to reassure that listing agent that it's okay to take your FHA borrower, because that borrower is only putting 3.5% down. They're not putting 10, 20%. They don't have to have a 700 credit score. Now, I will tell you, almost all of us have shifted to above a 640 credit score. We are currently still at 640. I've had several loan officers and bank people giving me a call asking me to help a borrower that wasn't locked in before their bank shifted to 680. But we here at the Federal Savings Bank are solid at 640. So that means it's giving an opportunity to those buyers who may still have those lower credit scores, an opportunity to buy right now. And as you know, not all of you are from Atlanta, because I do all states, but Atlanta's seen where several investors have stopped buying properties, and it's given that opportunity for some seller market areas to open up and allow these FHA buyers to really take advantage of this situation and allow them to purchase properties where before it was more difficult for them. So I'm definitely seeing, instead of it taking 5, 6 offers, in some cases only 1 or 2, and they're able to find that home. With FHA, the asking of the seller closing costs has not changed. You can still ask for up to 5% to help pay those closing costs so that the borrower can get into the home with as little as possible. The other product I want to talk about, we're going to talk about 3, and then I'm going to take some questions on this one before we go to the next one, is conventional. So I've heard Fannie Freddie, I'll have Luther scroll up on this one. Fannie Freddie, it has not really seen the major changes that we've seen with FHA. We're still offering Fannie Freddie at 620 or higher. The main changes that we've seen conventional is more in the investment arena. More liquid assets may be needed. You're not counting futuristic income. And these are what we will call overlays, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But Fannie and Freddie conventional really haven't stepped back on what they're going to do. Their rates are still strong. They're still good. If somebody's telling you you have to be 700 for conventional and you need 20% down, that is not factual at this time. They have the home ready and the home possible for Fannie and Freddie. That's their version of only 3% down. So they still have the 3% product, and we are direct with them. So we are still offering the home possible, offering the home ready, offering the 5% down. The major change I have seen again on this conventional is going to be with investment. Mortgage insurance has become almost impossible to get on investment at 85% loan to value. So we here at the bank have moved forward with 20% down on investment, and therefore no mortgage insurance is required. But we have not gone to the extreme of some where I got a call yesterday and they were saying they would need 35% down. So no, we are not that far. Only 20% on those investment properties to avoid that mortgage insurance, okay? But Fannie and Freddie are really strong. We're not really seeing a whole lot of backing off on doing these types of loans. If you're seeing that from another place, they not have the structure or support potentially that they're needing in order to continue forward doing those. We locked almost $1 billion in the last couple weeks. So our bank is being very strong towards it. We are going to be closing a lot of these just in our name, the Federal Savings Bank, and then servicing them. So that's how we're able to still provide this strong support for you here in the market. The other one I just want to touch on is jumbo. I don't do it. Yeah.
Let me make just a couple of points real quick to these agents.
Perfect.
She have given us some wonderful information, and here's some points that I want everybody to take home. Number one, what I just heard is, look, we can still go down to a 620 credit score. There is still 3% down financing. So credit score can go as low as 600, down payment down to 3%. Why is this important for us, for real estate agents? We can now advertise Facebook, LinkedIn, social media, email marketing, text messaging, website. I can go on and on and on. We can now say, hey, listen, contact me because we have programs that will go down as low as 3% down and 620 credit score. Your phone will ring because a lot of people aren't saying this now. So some of those banks out there, mortgage lenders, for whatever reason, they are saying, look, 700 credit score, 20% down. You now have a lender, you now have a contact where you can actually advertise and you can say, listen, I can help you, and the financing is still out there. Case in point, last week, every Tuesday at Platinum Real Estate, we have what we call Top Producer Tuesdays. It's a personal training with me. After my Top Producer Tuesdays last week, I went on Facebook Live. Every agent under the sound of my voice, you should do a Facebook Live every single week, at least once a week. I went on Facebook Live and I said, listen everybody, the sky is not falling. There is still great opportunities out there for you to buy a home, and now is the time to do it. I did that Facebook Live post because I had just got off the phone with Tamara, and she told me it was out there. I said, listen, contact me. And I actually had about 4 or 5 calls of people contacting me saying, hey, I'm interested in a house. I didn't think I could do it, but if you have financing where I can do it, I would love to do it. What's my point? As real estate agents, we now have programs where we can give home buyers opportunities, and we can now compete with any agent out there because now we have a lender that can provide what a lot of other lenders cannot do. Okay, let me look at my chat line, see if I have some questions. Chat. Questions, anybody? All right, you know what, Tamara? You know what? I have somebody that's raising their hand. Hello, you are live. Hello? You are live. What questions do you have for Ms. Burch? Okay. Maybe she don't have a question now. Hello?
Well, maybe they're shy.
Well, it's so many people. I am so afraid to open up this line because there is so many people on this webinar. Let's do this. You guys shoot me a chat question. Tamara, keep it going.
Okay. All right. So I think we've seen it, and great points, Luther, great points, because so many people, if you as an agent and you're in the business and you're hearing 720% down and you're hearing all this, your sphere of your clients and future clients, they're hearing that too, and they're not getting the right information. So you're going to be like the go-to realtor for them to go get accurate information if you're sharing this. So Luther's absolutely correct. Somebody who thinks I'm doing a loan right now for a nurse, and she thought she 20% down. She called me yesterday. I approved her yesterday, and she's looking at houses tomorrow. So she thought she needed the 20%. We're not doing 20%. We're doing a good FHA for her, and she is ready to rock and roll. So there are those that want to be looking at homes. They view it as an opportunity. Plus, they're stuck inside. They're looking on all over the place. So you want to capture them and make them yours. So right now, sharing some of this information and showing them that they only need a little down, and we're going to get to 100% in a second. A little down will then, have them talking to you as a future client. Jumbo, just real quick on jumbo. So what I've been hearing from a lot of people is you have to have a 780 credit score. You have to have 35% down. The call I got 2 days ago is they needed 35% down. That's also misinformation. That's going to be overlays, meaning that particular bank or that lender doesn't have the ability or doesn't have the product anymore because they're trying to protect the bank, they're trying to protect the lender, and by doing it across the board, then they just don't have those loans coming in. And somebody putting 35% down on a $5 million home is going to assure the fact that the bank, that the payment's going to be made and it's not going to be a future foreclosure, or if it is, they have liquidity in the property and they're not going to lose out. Well, you still can get a 90% jumbo or an 80% jumbo. Those are available should you have a customer. I'm not going to go into rates and all of those things. If you have a customer, we can still go to 90% or 80% or 75%, and they can still get in their home. They don't need to come up with 35%, and they don't have to have a 780 credit score either. So on a case-by-case basis, I'll take a look at those and try to help you save one of those should you be coming across that situation. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next screen unless there's a question, or if Luther has a question. If not, we're going to talk about some 100% programs, and we'll get a lot of questions here as well.
Now, a couple of questions here. One question came in that says, Tamara, do you have the 3%, the 3.5%? Do you also have the 5% down?
Okay, excellent question. So the 3% is going to be the Home Ready or Home Possible under Fannie and Freddie. The 5% can be conventional or FHA, of course. And then the 3.5% is going to be the FHA product. And yes, we have all of those available. I know some people are hearing they're not there, but they are there. Your customer can take advantage of it and still, you know, get a great rate on it, better than we were giving in December last year. So it's a perfect opportunity for your people to be taking advantage of this situation. We hate to use those terms under such a horrible situation as a pandemic, but they will secure themselves a great financing where they aren't going to have payments rising on them over time, and they're going to get a great rate in the process. So absolutely, we have those available.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Here's a $1 million question, and I know everybody's asking this one. Why are some banks saying that these programs are not available? And I guess the question is, why is some banks saying that it's not available? And, you know, why do you have it and they don't, basically?
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. They're not saying it's not available. What they are saying is it's not available through them. Either A, they are not offering the product because they are trying to not put themselves in a position during a pandemic where they close on a loan and potentially the person immediately stops paying payments on it. Or, you know, they are wanting more down payment to secure for the bank or the lender, or if it is a lender and the banks that they were doing business with, because as a lender, they're selling all their stuff, where we are going to portfolio it and service it. Well, they're not doing that. So they have to find a bank that is willing to do these loans, and some of the banks are not willing. So if they only had a few partnerships and those banks have all said, nope, we're not doing it anymore, they're kind of scrambling and trying to get a new partnership able to be done. So if they're not a direct endorser for Ginnie Mae or Fannie Mae, then they might be scrambling a little, and that will happen. We saw that happen in 07 and 08 as well. That's an excellent question, though.
And let me say this. Let me break it down to layman's terms, because she gave you the professional answer. That's great. Let me break it down for every agent on this line. There's large banks, there's small banks, there's conservative banks, there's not conservative banks, there's different banks. So as I always say, is there's different strokes for different folks. Meaning this, there's a bank that can get it done, you just have to have the proper relationship. At Platinum Real Estate, we have partnered, so we say, hey, you know what? Some of the banks that can't do it, we don't partner with them purposely because they don't have the programs out there wide enough, or they're not large enough to be able to service what we need. Personally, 30 years ago, I wanted to buy an investment property. Walked in to the bank, I was told no. I was shocked, I was upset, I could not believe it. Didn't have a lot of money, didn't have the best credit, I was turned down. Called my father, Luther Sr., who was an investor, real estate investor of his own right. He said, son, here's the deal. Don't stop. Go look for somebody else. I went to another bank, and bam, I got approved. What's the point, right? Don't listen to everything but that you hear on Facebook, internet, these type of things. You have to partner yourself with the right partnerships. That's why at Platinum, I take the responsibility as the broker and CEO to bring in vendors, closing attorneys. Tamara handles the mortgage piece, inspectors, appraisers, everything but that you need is right there in the agent portal. So you don't have to go out and scramble and look for it. It's all right there for you. Okay? So what's the point? Tamara have what you need. All right? Another question here. Tamara, my question is, if a buyer does not pass underwriting with one lender, is it possible to get approved through another lender using the same program, or do you have to go to another lender and that lender have a different program?
That's a great question. I'm going to use yesterday. I received a phone call from a seller, not even a realtor. He was selling 3 houses, and I was doing the deal for him on one of his houses, and he called me about another one where the bank told him that VA now only does 680 credit score. Okay, well, we just learned, or we're going to learn here in a second, that's not accurate information. It's not that VA is doing 680, it's that bank is doing 680. So I informed him, yes, we can do a 660 borrower. It should not be any problem, you know, and I can take the VA appraisal and have that converted over to the Federal Savings Bank. So yes, you can go somewhere else and still get it done, but ask the questions, find out the credit score, find out the program, and then you'll have a better idea of making sure that it's still going to fly through.
And you know what? I wish I had $1 for every time Platinum Real Estate. I have agents who have had, now our agents try to use our vendors because of the relationship, but I have had agents where buyers have come in with their own lender. That lender could not get it done for whatever reason. We literally take the deal and we give it to Tamara, and then she closes it out. So absolutely, that can, that will, and that does happen every single day. Another question here, and I got hand raises, I got questions, I got everything all over the place. Here's another question here. Tamara, with the 3.5% down and the 5% down, etc., does the 620 credit score still apply?
The 620 is going to be your conventional Fannie product. And then the FHA, we have shifted like the market to 640. We have not shifted to the 680 I'm seeing in a lot of places, but we did shift to the 640 on FHA. Great question.
Good. Now I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to try to allow somebody to talk. But there's so many people on this line, I don't know if we're going to be able to hear. But last name is CRL. You are live. Question for Miss Burch.
Sorry.
We got a lot of. Okay, well, now they're sending another question. All right, let's keep it going. Tamara, look, I tried again. It just didn't work.
That's okay.
Let's start. On to our next topic.
And also, as you can see in the top right there, my phone number is right there. You can text me and I'll text you back my business card, or text me questions after if you think of something. We all do that, where it's, you know, after the fact and we think of a question and go, oh man, I should have asked. You know, shoot me over a text and I'll get it answered. I guarantee you someone else is asking it of me. So VA USDA, Genoa, and Georgia Dream. So I'm just going to kind of touch on these. These are programs that offer 100% financing. I have been told countless times that 100% financing is not available. That is absolutely not true. These programs are still in effect. So VA, we are seeing VA still, we're doing VA at 640. I have seen where VA has been pushing the 660 on their approvals, but overall, I'm still seeing the 640s go through. If the borrower is strong, it's still going to get approved, and there's no down payment for these individuals. And in case you didn't know, this is the big piece. I had a borrower coming to me who only had a 640 credit score, but wanted a jumbo house. Yup, they wanted a $750,000 house. So it found out that he is a veteran. And so instead of doing a jumbo with 20% down, which we actually would have to raise his credit scores, we're going to do a VA loan for $750,000 with no money down. None. So VA has changed and allowed the larger loan sizes for their veterans. Okay, so they will get the certificate of eligibility and show that. Now USDA is also still operating. You know, I've heard people say they're not. Yes, they are. You can still get it. It's 100%. It's certain areas. So, you know, you may or may not be showing homes in those areas. No, it's not downtown Atlanta. That's not USDA. And then, of course, we still have Genoa. I've been told people can't get down payment assistance. Genoa is still available. Georgia Dream is still available. Now, I did read that HHF is going to be ending on June 30th. So anybody thinking about getting into a home in Atlanta or Dayton and they want that $15,000, you're running out of time. That program ends very shortly. It's going to end on June 30th, from my understanding. So the 100% programs are still there. The borrowers can still take advantage of it. If you've been told that they can't, then you need to make a phone call to me and let's have a chat and find out why they can't. Was there some other reason, or that particular lender or bank is just not offering that program at this time? But we on our VA loans, the bank is run and operated by a Marine. They are not going to stop doing those loans, and we make sure that the veterans are well taken care of. We want to know that they can get into these homes, and I've been told by other places that, hey, they've used it before, they can't use it again. Absolutely not true. They can use it multiple times. They could have even had a foreclosure and still use their VA benefits again. So you reach out to me, my number's right there on the top right. You give me a call and I'll make sure you're getting the correct information. So any questions on this section?
Yes, indeed. A couple of questions here. All right, the first question that I have here, it says, Tamara, are these programs available in Florida?
That's a great question. I actually help and have realtors in every state in the United States. So every single one of these is available everywhere except Georgia Dream is obviously a Georgia product. But if you are in another state and want to text me, we do have down payment assistance programs available in almost every state. And I'm happy to do that research for you and send you the information for your state.
And let me make this statement too, once we're talking about other states. One of my private coaching calls with the agents, I told Platinum Real Estate agents this was the time for opportunity. This coronavirus is going to be a great opportunity for everybody in the real estate industry. It's time for new business to do business a different way. We are very, very blessed at Platinum Real Estate. Our corporation is still growing. We are financially secure. We are stable. We have been around for 28 years. So this is not our first type of quote unquote crisis. We've been there, done that many, many times. So we're actually looking now at Florida. We are looking at North Carolina as well as South Carolina to start advertising and to get agents in different states. So I'm looking at about 4 at this point. And I'm doing that because of the opportunity that have come about. As an agent, you should do the same thing, right? Now is the time to tweak your business, to look at your business differently, to do business differently, because crises like this bring opportunities. Also, investors are going to love crises like this. So advertise and reach out to your investors as well, because whenever there's crisis, turmoil, change, everybody don't change with the changes. So then you end up having the have and the have-nots. What I've been teaching my agents is, let's put together plans so once this blows over, and this coronavirus will not be around forever. Once this crisis ends, you're in a position to take advantage of the opportunity. Tamara, another question here. What's the credit score for USDA, and what's the requirement for Chenoweth?
Both of those are going to be 640, so great question. So it's still available, making it nice and easy for your borrowers to get in. And I meant to cover this on the previous screen, and so I'm going to make this statement, and it's a true statement here at the Federal Savings Bank. We know that the appraisals sometimes can take a little longer due to COVID. So we have, if Fannie or Freddie says we don't need an appraisal on our approval, and I'm doing this because I see the time frame, then we are not going to require one. It may just be a drive-by, it may just be a desk review, and we then have the borrowers decide if they want to do one or not do one, but they will have the option to pass on doing an inspection of the property and having the appraisal, because Fannie Freddie has all these values in the system, and if the value is there, it may not be required to even have one, and we can close your loan even quicker.
Excellent, absolutely wonderful. Another quick question, really quick, and I got questions and questions and questions. So if I do not get to every question, please forgive me. But some of you guys are asking multiple questions, so I can ask Tamara one question that Mike can knock out 5 or 6 different questions. Tamara, what does it say here? Do you still have down payment assistance programs? Are they still available?
So that's a great question. If you can see, Chenoweth is listed there and Georgia Dream is listed there. So both of those are programs that will either be a forgiven second mortgage of the 3.5% down, or they will pay it back over time. So Chenoweth has 3 different programs, and when I talk to your borrower, I take a look at that for them. And what's so good about Chenoweth is different than all the rest of them is it is also for the high income earner that maybe just can't save enough money to come up with the down payment. So Chenoweth will even give loans to somebody who makes $120,000 a year. Now, if they can come up with the down payment, of course I recommend that, because you'll get a better rate than you're going to get with FHA than you're going to get with Chenoweth. And I'm not going to go into rates obviously on here, but it is a program for somebody who they just can't come up with it. The one I did recently, they had 5 kids and they just couldn't seem to come up with that $20,000 down payment. So Chenoweth gave that to them as a second mortgage, and we closed them at 100%. So that those 2 programs are still available in any state for Chenoweth and state of Georgia for Georgia Dream.
Absolutely wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so false information. Basically, I've touched on some of this, rumors and overlays. So what is an overlay? An overlay is going to be, an example would be, hey, you can't get a VA loan at 680 credits unless you have a 680 credit score. That's actually an overlay, meaning the bank or lender is putting that in place across the board, not just Georgia, not just Cobb County, not just Florida, not just Duval. They're making it across all states, saying we're just not going to lend anymore below 680. So if you're hearing something and it doesn't sound right, be like that seller who was selling his home and picked up the phone and called me, and I had a conversation and explained to him that what they're stating is an overlay. I don't think it's misinformation necessarily or false information. Maybe the way it was stated was a little false, but the person truly believes that this program's not available at their bank or their lending institution. And we're hearing the rumors. And like Luther said with the rumors, this is your opportunity to take advantage of that, because if you are hearing 700 and you are hearing 20% down, but you are marketing yourself at 100% program or 3.5% down and 640 credit score, 620 credit scores are still available, or maybe they don't have the 620. We're going to tell them what they need to do to bump that to 620. I had 3 people who bumped their scores from 600 to 660 this week. So, we're going to go through that with them and give it to them in writing and share with them on how to do that. And that's going to make you look great, because you're giving them, you're having them work with somebody who, 1, cares, and 2 is going to make it happen. So just because you're hearing something, like Luther's saying, this isn't gospel, sky's not falling. That's not necessarily what's happening. That's just potentially an overlay, that they're no longer operating with that because they're having trouble either A, servicing it themselves, or B, finding a servicer who would service that product. Okay.
And
so that's, any questions here?
And let me make this statement to all ages. Listen, in our last coaching call, we talked about opportunities, and I talked about a lot of different strategies and things we can do to take advantage of the current opportunities. Here's what's going on in the market. There's folk out there that list a house, and because they're only dealing with 700 credit score, 20% down, they can't get the thing sold. So what happened? It expires. So agents, you guys should be out there right now. You should still be marketing for listings. Expireds are big, 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 big. For sale by owner, big, 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 big right now. What do I do every time I list a house? And you should do the same thing. In the MLS and the FMLS, I actually put contact Tamara Burch for financing. Why? Because what happens is you can have a buyer who wants that listing, but if you don't have a partner, a vendor who can say, yes, I can do 620, yes, I can do a 640, that person can get turned down and really ruin your deal. And if you get 2 or 3 folks that's turned down, then your listing can expire. You got problems. And there's a lot of agents out there who don't have the tools and the relationships right now. So we're going to see some property expire. You need to be marketing and picking those properties up. When you have a listing, you should say, hey, for pre-approval, contact Tamara Burch, put her cell phone number right in there, put her website right in there, and say, hey, here's where you can go for the financing. Why do I also like to do that? When I have a buyer, or when I have an agent who looks at my listing and don't have a source, and they go to Tamara, when Tamara gives me that pre-approval letter, I know it's gold. I know it's good to go. Some of these other pre-approval letters that some of these lenders will give you, it's not worth the paper that is written on. All right? So, big strategy right now. What did we learn? Should we go after listings? Still do that. Should we still go after the expired listing? The answer is yes. And every single listing have Tamara in the listing say contact Tamara for the pre-approval. Another big thing with this whole rumor thing. Tamara literally have showed you programs from no money down, 3% down, 3.5% down, 5% down, 620, 640, 660, just a whole gamut of stuff. Here's what I hope everybody are having to learn. Agents, I don't expect you to become a mortgage professional. That's not what we do. That's not what we're going to do. We don't have license for that. Here's how we make our money. We need to advertise, hey, I have programs. I still have no money down deals. I still have programs in the 600s. I still have blah, blah, blah. Contact me to find out more. Your client contacts you. You then forward to Tamara. Tamara figures out which program is best for them. Tamara gets the person approved. Tamara sends it back to you. You go out, find the property, close the deal, done deal. All right? Let me look at some questions here. Excellent question. Tamara, about how long does it take to close with these different programs?
That is a fantastic question. I've been hearing some places now saying 90 days. That's kind of crazy. We're still at 30 days. However, if it's going to be like a Georgia Dream, a down payment assistance, those are about 45 days, because after we get them pre-approved and ready to rock and roll, we do have to give that to Georgia Dream or give it to Chenoa and get them to sign off on it. So you're going to be looking about 45. All the rest of them, 30 days. And in some cases, the Fannie and Freddie, when I don't need an appraisal, they're closing in 2-3 weeks. But I would protect yourself and put at least 30 days on your contract.
And I'll go even further than that. You guys know how I teach. I tell all agents, when you write a contract, you need to, if you're writing a contract for that buyer, you need to contact Tamara and say, Tamara, right now with this situation, with this program, when can you close it? And then Tamara gives you the date. Here's what I love about Tamara. Whatever date she gives you, it will close on that date. So, yes, I can put 30 days, I can put 20 days, I can put 45 days, but here's the best approach. Contact your lender. Say, Tamara, for this particular borrower, when can we close? When Tamara gives you that date, she takes ownership and it closes on that date. Okay? And I love that about her, because I know y'all are like me. Whatever day we supposed to close, I love to what? Close on that day so I can get paid. Right? All right, wonderful. Tamara, it's back to you.
Okay, great. Now I'm just kind of really touch on this super fast because we only have a couple minutes. Some changes that have taken place. We've talked about appraisals. We're not tolerating the $750 condition appraisal in addition to the appraisal charge that some of these appraisers are charging. We're not doing that, okay? Document tax transcripts, I know we can't get those right now. The bank is closing without them. They're going to go ahead and close without them. If the person is self-employed, we have the self-employed person get a copy of their transcripts by logging into the IRS. So we are still closing them. Other places say we're not doing self-employed until the situation comes back where we can get the tax transcripts. That is not true. You can do it, or at least you can here at the bank, okay? One of the changes is verifications of employment. We are checking under new COVID guidelines. I'm not going to go, there's so many now, it's crazy. I'm not going to go into all of those, but we're looking to make sure that they don't have a loss of income, they haven't lost their job, and we're going to do that even the day of closing or the day before. Okay, because we have to make sure that they have not lost their job or been asked to take a pay cut, or maybe they were getting overtime and they're not getting overtime anymore. Be careful on those. I've had one of those where the overtime was just cut and now we have a situation. So, you know, I'm approving more people without the overtime now in order to protect them. Time frame, 30 days. Okay, documentation hasn't changed. Same documents, keep it simple. If you're W-2, I don't even need the tax returns. I'm just going to use the W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements. Okay. The big one is the job loss. You know, if they have been let go, we're obviously not going to be closing. You know, and I've been surprised at some of the people who thought they were secure and they're not secure. Interest rates have ticked up a little bit today. Not going to really get into that, but they're still great rates for people to be out shopping. They're better than they were last year in December. There's no question they're either A, going to get to buy more home, or B, going to have a lower payment on the same price range. So it's a perfect opportunity for those individuals. And I think we only have maybe 1 minute. I don't know if we have more questions, but in the top right, you see my cell number. Text me, call me. I'm happy to shoot you over my business card so that you have it. That's my personal number. Give me a call or text me, and I'll get any other questions answered as well.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. One quick question, one last question. Somebody just texted in and said, do we have to have the 2019 taxes complete before a person apply for a loan today?
That's a great question, and no, that's been pushed back to July. So and self-employed borrowers is actually all the way till October. So as long as we, right now we're not even asking for an extension, but in July we will ask for that extension that could then take them to October.
Good, good, good. All right, everybody, listen, let's just recap a couple things. Number one, as I was telling Tamara, the sky is not falling. She have told you of some wonderful, great programs. Just a lot of them that's still out there. We can still take advantage of. That means we should still continue to advertise the way we have been. We should still continue to market, advertise. The programs are out there. We should make it happen. I will say this for Platinum Real Estate. Agents, you guys are still doing a great job. You guys are still closing deals, still have pending contracts coming in, still making it happen, and continue to do so. The programs are out there. Let's continue to make that happen. Also, now is the time for opportunity. Now is the time for us to take our business to the next level rather than to have our business stall. As I said, hey, I am looking at other states. I am looking at other opportunities. I am an investor. I am looking to buy. You should do the exact same thing. Now, contact Tamara. Cell phone number 770-896-5001 is right there on the screen. Feel free to contact Tamara Burch, 770-896-5001. Her website, tamaraburch.com. Tamara, once again, great job. Thank you for everything that you do for us.
I appreciate your time, and I do hope that everyone stays safe as well as their family during this time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And do not forget, we have career opportunities for, if you are on this line and you are not a Platinum Real Estate agent, we have opportunities for you. You can contact us, 404-994-4600 or careers@platinumrealestate.com. And last but not least, if you learned something today, obviously this is a free webinar. It didn't cost you a dime. My job, my goal is to give you free information, to give you quality information to help you grow your business. If you've learned something today, if you enjoyed the information, if you think this will help you in the future, I ask for one thing and one thing only. Please Google platinumrealestate.com. Right now, go to Google, go on your cell phone, go on your whatever device you're on, whether you're listening to this or you are watching live, please Google right now Platinum Real Estate. And if we could get a 5-star review, I would love that. Free education, good education. If you learned something, if we blessed you, if we helped you, please right now go to Google, Google Platinum Real Estate. And when you Google Platinum Real Estate, all I ask for is a 5-star review. Would mean the world to me. As always, if you'd like to contact me personally, You can contact me at luther@platinumrealestate.com. Again, email address luther@platinumrealestate.com. Looks like my time have expired. My time is up. But look, we have this every single Tuesday. We have Top Producer Tuesdays. So let's stay in touch. Let's keep this thing going, and let's keep this thing growing. Tamara, once again, thank you, and thank everybody for tuning in. May God bless you. Talk to you real soon. Thank you. Talk to you then.